When you sit quietly and think about life, you realize how much your heart has been with you through every single moment. It beat faster when you fell in love. It ached when you faced loss. And it kept you alive through all the ups and downs of your years. The heart is not just an organ. It is a silent companion that never rests, never takes a break, and never asks for anything in return. It works day and night, through your sleep and through your laughter, through your struggles and your joys. But with age, many people forget to thank this companion. They push it to keep going, even when it is tired. They ignore its whispers until those whispers turn into warnings. In America today, one of the most common struggles for seniors is heart health. It is not something to be ashamed of, it is something to be understood. Every wrinkle on your face tells a story, and every beat of your heart carries the history of your life. The truth is, heart problems are not only about numbers, medicines, or test reports. They are about how you live, how you feel, and how you care for yourself. Many seniors feel that heart disease is unavoidable with age, but that is not true. Yes, the risk is higher, but the power to protect and strengthen your heart is still in your hands. I want you to pause here for a moment. Place your hand gently on your chest. Feel that steady rhythm. That is life itself. That is your heart talking to you. It is saying, I am still here. I am still strong. Take care of me, and I will take care of you. This simple act of awareness is the first step toward better heart health. We live in a world that often tells older people, slow down. You cannot do much anymore, but that is not true. Seniors who take care of their hearts often live with more energy, more freedom, and more happiness than those who give up. And this message, dear listener, is especially for you. You are not too old to protect your heart. You are not too late to begin. You are not beyond change. If you are listening right now, I want you to know that this journey is not about fear. It is about hope. Together, we will talk about the small daily habits that make a big difference. We will share wisdom, not just medical advice. And as you listen, if you feel comfort or strength in these words, remember to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel, not for me but for yourself, so that you always have a gentle voice reminding you that you are not alone in this. Think of this as a community, not just a video. Seniors helping seniors. People sharing their journeys so that others can walk safely, just as your heart beats for you. This space is here to beat with you, to keep you company as you care for your health. Now let us begin slowly. Imagine your heart as a garden. If you water it with good choices, it blossoms. If you neglect it, weeds take over. Every step you take, every meal you eat, every thought you carry, it all feeds this garden. And together, we will learn how
to nurture it so it keeps blooming for many more seasons of your life. In the next part, we will walk into the most important truths about heart health, what really harms it and what silently heals it. Stay with me. This journey is not just about knowledge. It is about protecting the very rhythm of your life. When we talk about heart health, it is easy to think only about diseases, tests, and doctor visits. But before we go there, let us look at something deeper: the everyday choices that shape the strength of your heart. Because the truth is, most heart problems do not come suddenly. They build up slowly, often over years. And that means you can also rebuild strength slowly, step by step, with patience. One of the first things to understand is how the heart works. Your heart is a pump, but it is not just any pump. It is one of the most faithful machines ever created. It pumps blood through nearly 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. Imagine that for a moment. 60,000 miles. That is like circling the United States more than twice. And it does this without stopping, from the day you were born until the day you leave this world. Now, what weakens this pump over time? There are several common reasons, and many seniors in America face them daily. High blood pressure. high cholesterol, diabetes, stress, smoking, and even loneliness can all put strain on the heart. But knowing these risks is not meant to scare you. It is meant to remind you that each one can be addressed. And it is never too late to start. Let us begin with food, because what you eat directly becomes the fuel for your heart. Many seniors grow up in families where meals were heavy, filled with fried foods, butter, or salty dishes. That was normal back then, and it carried memories of comfort. But as we age, our bodies change. What once felt fine can now place a heavy burden on the heart. A heart-healthy plate is simple, colorful, and gentle. Think of it as filling your plate with foods that grow from the earth. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, and lean proteins are like medicine, but they taste better. For example, a bowl of oatmeal in the morning with some berries is not just breakfast, it is a shield for your heart. A handful of walnuts or almonds is not just a snack, it is a gift to your arteries. Grilled salmon with vegetables is not just dinner, it is strength for your heartbeat. And here is a little secret. Eating for your heart does not mean giving up all joy. It is about balance. You do not need to cut every treat. You simply need to let the good foods be the main story and let the treats be the side notes. This way, you feed your body, but you also feed your soul. Now let us talk about movement. The heart loves to be challenged gently. It does not need marathons or heavy workouts. What it needs is steady, kind movement every day. Walking is the most powerful medicine for seniors. Just 20 to 30 minutes of walking, at your own pace, can lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and lift your mood. If you cannot walk far, walk around your home. If you cannot walk long, walk short but often. Every step counts. Think of your heart like a drum. The more you move, the stronger and steadier the drumbeat becomes. And as you walk, you are not just moving your legs, you are moving your life forward. But there is another side to heart health that many people forget. Emotions. Stress, anger, and loneliness weigh on the heart more than most people realize. In America, many seniors live alone, sometimes far from family. This loneliness is not just sadness. It actually affects the body. The heart feels it. That is why community matters. That is why staying connected matters. Right now, as you listen, remember that you are not alone. We are building a community here, a place where you can learn, share, and encourage each other. I encourage you to use the comments to share your own heart tips. What meals make you feel stronger? What habits helped you lower your blood pressure? Or even just a kind word for another senior. Your story may save someone else's life. And while you are here, remember to subscribe. Not for me, but for yourself. And for the others who need this message. By staying connected, you're part of something bigger, a group of seniors who remind each other that aging is not the end of life, but a wiser stage of it. So let us pause here. Take a slow, deep breath. Place your hand on your chest again. Feel that steady beat. That is your companion, your partner in every step. And now tell yourself, I will walk with my heart. I will care for my heart. In the next part, we will go deeper into the signs your heart gives when it is in trouble, and the small warnings you should never ignore. Because sometimes the heart whispers before it cries out, and listening early can save your life. Your heart is faithful, but it also knows how to whisper when something is wrong. The problem is, too many of us ignore those whispers until they turn into shouts. Seniors often think, oh, this is just part of getting old. But the truth is, the body gives signals when the heart is under stress, and those signals should never be ignored. One of the most common signs is shortness of breath. If you find yourself getting unusually tired after small tasks like climbing a few steps, walking across the living room, or even talking while standing up, that could be your heart telling you it needs help. Do not brush it off as normal aging. Normal aging may slow you down. Yes, but it should not leave you gasping. Another sign is chest discomfort. Now, it is not always a sharp pain like you see in movies. Sometimes it feels like pressure, tightness, or even a heavy weight in the chest. Some people describe it as if someone is sitting on them. And here is something many seniors do not realize. This discomfort can also show up in the arms, back, jaw, or stomach. Women, in particular, often feel heart pain in less obvious places, like the neck or shoulders. Then there are the small changes. Swelling in your ankles or feet, feeling dizzy without reason, sudden fatigue, or a heartbeat that feels irregular or too fast. These may seem like little things, but to your heart, they are warnings. It is like the heart tapping your shoulder saying, "Please notice me. I want to pause here," because I know many seniors feel nervous when they hear about symptoms. You may think, if I notice one of these signs, does it mean something bad is already happening? Not always, but paying attention early is what can save you. Listening to your heart is an act of respect, an act of love for yourself. And let me tell you, this taking action is not a sign of weakness. Going to the doctor, checking your blood pressure, or speaking up about discomfort is not being dramatic. It is being wise. Wisdom is the gift of age, and wisdom says, protect what protects you. Think of the generations after you. Think of your children, grandchildren, or the neighbors who look up to you. They need your wisdom, your presence. And the best gift you can give them is to take care of yourself. Sometimes self-care feels selfish, but in reality it is the most generous thing you can do. This is also where our community matters. If you have experienced one of these signs, share it in the comments. Tell others what you noticed and how you responded. Your story could make another senior pay attention in time. And while you are here, subscribe. Not just to hear more health tips, but to stay connected with others who care about you and want you to live longer, healthier days. Now, I want you to do something small with me. Close your eyes for a moment and remember the happiest memory that makes your heart warm. Maybe it is a birthday of your grandchild, a long walk with your partner, or a moment of laughter with friends. Hold on to that memory. That joy is what your heart is beating for. And that is why caring for it matters. In the next part, we will talk about habits, little daily actions you can begin right now that slowly heal and strengthen your heart. Because knowledge is good, but action is better. And I promise you, these habits are not complicated. They are gentle steps that even the oldest among us can take. When it comes to heart health, there are two powerful truths every senior should remember. First, prevention does not stop at youth. Even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your heart responds to care, and every effort you make today can still protect you tomorrow. Second, the earlier you begin these habits, even in your 40s or 50s, the stronger your shield becomes against future problems. So how do we prevent heart trouble, and how do we stop it before it grows worse? Let us begin with the simplest, most human step: movement. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it weakens without use. You do not need to run marathons. Gentle walking, light stretching, or slow dancing in your living room can all count as exercise. Just 20 to 30 minutes of steady movement, most days of the week, can cut the risk of heart issues nearly in half. Think of it as telling your heart, "I'm here with you." Food is the second guardian of the heart. In America, many of us grew up loving fried foods, heavy meats, and sugary drinks. But as we age, those foods become heavier burdens for our arteries. Prevention begins by adding more colors to your plate: greens, reds, purples, yellows, fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins give your heart energy without clogging it. And please drink water. The heart pumps more smoothly when the body is hydrated. Then comes the quiet enemy: stress. Many seniors think stress is only for the young, but the truth is, stress follows us at every age. Worry about health, about family, about finances, it all weighs on the heart. This is why moments of calm are not luxuries. They are necessities. Prayer, gentle breathing, sitting by a window with sunlight, or even listening to music you love, these moments relax the heart. A calm heart lives longer. Now, to those listening who are younger, maybe in your 40s or 50s, prevention starts even earlier. What you choose today will decide how your 70s and 80s will feel. Skip that extra cigarette. Choose water instead of soda. Take a walk instead of sitting all day. These choices sound small, but over years they shape your future. Imagine being able to climb stairs easily when you are 75 because you started protecting your heart at 45. That is the gift of prevention. And here is something rarely spoken about: community. Studies show that loneliness hurts the heart almost as much as smoking or poor diet. Seniors who live connected lives, who talk, share, laugh, and belong, have stronger hearts. So prevention is not only about what you eat or how much you move. It is also about who you share your days with. Reach out to friends. Attend community gatherings. Even comment below to connect with others here. You never know whose heart you might lift. I want to reassure you. It is never too late. Even if you have lived years with habits that were not heart-friendly, starting today makes a difference. The heart is forgiving. It heals when you treat it kindly. Imagine planting a tree late in life. It may not grow as tall as if you planted it earlier, but it will still grow. It will still give shade, and it will still be beautiful. That is how your heart works. And before we go further, I ask you, if you feel the value of these words, subscribe. Not just for me, but so you can keep receiving gentle reminders that your life, your health, and your presence matter deeply. Together, as a senior community, we can lift each other up with wisdom, tips, and encouragement. In the next part, we will talk about what modern science and doctors recommend for heart health, and how we can combine that wisdom with the timeless habits of daily life. Because prevention is both ancient and modern, and your heart deserves the best of both. When we talk about protecting the heart, it is not only about lifestyle, it is also about knowledge. Modern science gives us tools and tests that help us understand our heart's condition before it is too late. And for seniors, this can be life-saving. One of the most important steps is regular checkups. Many people avoid the doctor until something feels very wrong. But the truth is, the heart often whispers before it cries out. A routine blood pressure check, cholesterol test, or blood sugar test can reveal risks early. These simple numbers give you a window into how your heart is doing. Ignoring them is like driving a car without ever checking the fuel or oil. So prevention begins with awareness. Doctors may also recommend medications if your numbers are high: pills for blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes. Some seniors feel discouraged when they are given medicine, as if it is a sign of weakness. But think of it differently. These medicines are tools, allies that give your heart extra protection. Taking them as prescribed is not defeat. It is defense. Another modern tool is heart imaging, like an echocardiogram or a stress test. These tests show how strong your heart is, how well it pumps, and whether your arteries are clear. For seniors at higher risk, these are not luxuries. They are lifelines. But here is where science and life join hands. No medicine can replace daily choices. You cannot eat poorly, stay inactive, live with constant stress, and expect pills to carry the entire load. Medicines and habits must walk together. When they do, the heart gains the best of both worlds. And prevention is not only about seniors. For those in middle age, say your 40s or 50s, early screenings are like catching cracks in a wall before it collapses. A doctor visit once a year, combined with healthier choices, can stop heart disease before it begins. Imagine saving yourself from a heart attack in your 60s, simply because you cared enough to check your numbers in your 40s. That is the power of prevention. But let us not forget the emotional side. Medicine does not cure loneliness. Pills do not replace human connection. That is why I keep reminding you: share, talk, laugh, stay close to others. It protects not just the mind but the heart muscle itself. And to all of you listening now, if you feel these words touch you, subscribe. Not just to hear me, but to join this community of seniors and families who are learning, growing and supporting one another. When you comment your own tips or even your struggles, you might be the reason another senior feels less alone tonight. As we move forward, the next part will focus on warning signs, the little red flags the heart gives before a bigger problem appears. Because prevention is not only about habits and medicine, it is also about listening when your body speaks. And your heart always